Hey everybody, making a video tonight on the same kind of building techniques from around the world and these ancient sites that we have more questions and answers for. Graham Hancock calls this the architecture of Cataclysm, and I think that's the perfect title for this. Because these are huge megalithic sites, and they seem to be saying, hey, we're either preparing or we have just been through a cataclysm, and we want these structures to last. And this is ancientwisdom.com, and it just goes over some sites that seem to come from the same people or from the same civilization that spread out around the world and built these sites pretty much all similar. This is the Valley Temple of Giza, and this shows what they call the folded corner technique. And these huge stones are just kind of wrapped around the corners a little. Here in Luxor, Egypt, you can see these stones wrapped around corners, and here in Machu Picchu, the same kind of building technique. Here we have another shot of the Valley Temple at Giza. This is what they call the multifaceted stone technique, and it says it is often suggested that this design feature was incorporated into constructions as an earthquake preventative measure. The fact that the constructions exist in such good condition after so long in itself supports this idea. And here we have what they attribute to the Incas in South America, their building technique. These huge stones placed perfectly together, no mortar used. You can barely slide a piece of paper in between them. This is Cusco, what they call the Stone of 12 Angels. And this is Sacsayhuaman in Peru, and this is called one of the greatest walls of all time. This is Easter Island. Huge stones, and the style of masonry shows a stark similarity to the ones in South America. And we also have cut into these stones fittings for metal block ties. This is another feature commonly suggested as an earthquake preventative measure. And these are stones from Angkor Wat in Cambodia, Karnak, and Dendera in Egypt, all similar. And here we have them in Tiwanaku and Ollantaytambo too, exactly the same. And pretty much you got to think coming from the same people. And quarry marks also. Here we have stones from Machu Picchu, Cusco, Egypt, Karnak, all looking the same. And it seems to be this civilization, whoever built this, spread out around the world and built the same way, all over the place. And it seemed to be saying that they had just been through a cataclysm or were preparing for one. And in one of my previous uploads, I went over some possible theories of why the pyramid was constructed. Pyramids were constructed in Egypt, especially the Great Pyramid. And one of the theories was it was a place to store knowledge before a great flood happened. And if you know anything about the history of what they have found around the Great Pyramid, they have found ocean debris or sea debris, seashells and that kind of stuff, packed against the Great Pyramid around the outside of it. So there was obviously a flood a long time ago that brought water from the sea right up to the Great Pyramid. And a lot of these ancient sites seem to be lined up with solstices and equinoxes, and of course you have the Mayan calendar warning us of December 21st, 2012. And just got me wondering, is there anything maybe built into the Great Pyramids in Egypt that is warning us of that date and time? And one of the sites, or one of the pictures that's floated around the internet is this one. And this seems to show an alignment of Mercury, Venus, and Saturn aligning with the Great Pyramids on December 3rd, 2012. But if you look at this picture and you figure out where this picture is taken from and how the stars actually look that night, this picture is a big hoax. And I came across this picture then. And this comes from Starry Night Pro, and this shows what the sky will look like at Giza an hour before sunrise on December 3rd, 2012. And this kind of shocked me a little because, previous theories on the pyramids at Egypt say that they were lined up to match Orion's belt. And it's very close, and I totally bought that theory. And I still, don't disagree with that theory. But this picture kind of struck me. Because if you overlay the pyramids over this picture, it's a perfect alignment to the stars. Right on the tops, right on the tips of the pyramids. Mercury, Venus, and Saturn line up perfectly. So, December 3rd, 2012. What is the significance of that? Well, the guy who came up with this theory came up with this convoluted mathematical formula that says, well, this is going to add up to December 21st if you take this and add it to this and add it to this, and it just was kind of convoluted. But December 3rd, 2012, if you know anything about my theories on the Mayan calendar, I believe it started on August 13th, not August 11th, and it actually ends on December 23rd, 2012, and a lot of other people do too. There's always been a discrepancy of a few days, but with some Venus alignments, I believe it did start on August 13th and ends on December 23rd. So this alignment takes place 20 days before the end of that long count calendar, I believe. And what is the significance of 20 days? Well, this is Wikipedia, and it shows the table of long count units in the Mayan calendar, and from Baktuns to Katuns to Tuns, all the way down to the last one. The last period is a 20-day period. So, called a kin. I believe I'm pronouncing that right. But anyway, so you have this alignment at Giza happening 20 days before the end of the long count. I just thought that was very interesting. Is that a warning built into the pyramids? I'm not saying this is true, but the 20 days and the perfect alignment to these three planets, I thought this was very interesting. Hope you did too. Have a nice day.